It's time for a Raw review. It's time to talk about Raw. It's time to talk about Raw on YouTube, which makes me part of the YWC. YWC, my friends, my co-inhabitants of the YWC, friends and foes alike, I beseech you, I come to you with my heart open. I stand here on my own pulpit, and I really reach out to each and every one of you because the new company line is that nobody likes the main events of Wrestlemania. Brock Lesnar's a part-timer, Roman Reigns sucks, Undertaker's a part-timer, Triple H is a part-timer, Sting is a no-timer. We don't want these old guys, we don't want these guys that are around for a cup of coffee. All the main events of Wrestlemania suck. Give us the other stuff. Give us the other stuff. Give us the mid-card. Give us the stuff we want. So surely you all loved Raw tonight, because we had a Raw dedicated just for you guys. Just for you guys, the YWC Elite, the ones that follow Wrestling 101 to the T. The rule book says everything but the main event at WrestleMania must be great. You say, make the US title more important. You say make the IC title more important. Make the tag titles more important. You say give divas a chance. You say give me Ambrose, give me Rollins, give me Rusev, give me Cesaro, give me Kid, give me Natalya, Naomi, AJ, Paige, Ziggler. And I could go on and on and on. And even Daniel Bryan. You want the other stuff. You got a Raw based and focused and dedicated to the other stuff. So surely as I am sitting here right now in this videographical pulpit, you must have loved this Raw tonight, right? Oh yeah, I forgot, it's not cool to like stuff in the YWC anymore. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check. And yes, I took a deep breath after saying all that, because that's how I feel after tonight. I really do. I'm gonna breathe. Nobody wants to hear about the main events anymore. Everybody's saying, you know, I'm just gonna turn it off before Reigns and Lesnar even starts, which is bullshit. Let's be real. I'm gonna go and take a piss break when Triple H and Sting go on, which is bullshit. And we know this. Friggin', it's just sad. Like, why do they even bother bringing Undertaker back? Bray Wyatt could be doing better things. He could be going for the title. Roddy. It doesn't mean anything to fight the Undertaker anymore. Fuck off. Straight the fuck off. Now, am I being entirely unreasonable here? No. Was there shit on this card? Yes, there was a dude that took up 2 segments on this show tonight that looks like Deluxe Man plus or minus a little heroin. For sure, I will admit that. But this Raw was dedicated to all the stuff you guys want to see. Oh yes, let's get going. Let's get going so you guys can fucking hate me, because this is the kind of review this is going to be, and I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care. Well, I'm not going to care, obviously, because you guys are driving me fucking nuts. But you're not going to do it. All of you. The whole fucking YWC power structure, from Deluxe Man and Preston and Mark Pearson all the way down to the fucking ground. You're not going to do it. Because I see your crap, and I am still looking forward to WrestleMania. And you can't take that away. And unlike all of you, I'm actually paying for it. I'm not streaming the network. I'm not downloading the pay-per-view the day after. I'm not, this, that, and the next thing, threatening to cancel a network that I don't have, and, endangering the safety of people at arenas and all that sort of thing. But we started off the night with Orton and the Authority. Orton and Rollins versus Reigns is the handicap main event tonight. The entire Authority is welcoming Orton back to the Authority. Kane, as the friggin' director of operations, is the one to officially welcome him back. Big Show says he's talented, sadistic, and ruthless, and he'd RKO your own father to get ahead. Welcome back. Noble doesn't trust him at all. He says, no, you're a no-good snake, yada, yada, yada. Rollins shuts him up puts him in his corner pretty much, like a little child, which is funny, and says, you know, don't listen to Jamie, he's always been the sensitive one, he's still angry about Fastlane. Turns to Mercury, who says absolutely friggin' nothing. Rollins said, people say you're not really with us, you're planning revenge, and all of them are idiots. Orton and I stand side by side, we all had our doubts, I will admit I had my doubts, we're all back together, and Orton, welcome home. Orton says, your words are very kind, but what happened to the Authority? Why do we have the devil's favorite dumbass? Why do we have the Big Show using his size and power to do nothing but bitch and moan? Why do you have Noble, and nobody knows who Noble is? You can't even get on the rides at Disneyland. That's fantastic. And he says, and you, Mercury? He just shakes his head and walks away. That's even better. Rollins, you are blinded by ego, and when you feel safe and secure, I will make you my bitch, and you will have no future. And everybody's sort of shitting themselves for a second. Orton just laughs it off, says, I'm playing, guys, I'm kidding, you know, the family's back together. And Rollins says, tonight we will derail Roman Reigns on his road to WrestleMania. Harmless opening segment. Wade Barrett versus Daniel Bryan, continuing the Intercontinental Hot Potato storyline that we've got going. Truth is on commentary again, which is par for the course whenever there's an Intercontinental whenever there is a match involving people that are going to be in the Intercontinental ladder match at WrestleMania, and he's got a burlap sack with him that he keeps talking about throughout the whole match that he says he's going to pick potatoes with. Fantastic. We replay the Intercontinental Hot Potato situation, and then we start the match. Bryan works on Barrett's arm. He gets a knee to his gut, and it's a near fall. Bryan hammerlocks the arm and drops some knees on it, which is looking quite vicious. Wade escapes and hits a starts Austin-style mudhole stomping him in the corner. Bryan with an arm breaker, a reverse full Nelson, and a hammerlock. Bryan with some running knees, but Barrett breaks it. Barrett misses. Yeah, I can speak, I swear. Bryan goes for the running knee, but gets caught by Barrett's big boot. There we go. I can read my own writing. I promise. Bryan gets tossed out of the ring as we go to commercial break. Bryan is perched on the ropes when we come back from break, and he's getting knees in the gut from Wade Barrett. So we're working on Barrett's arm. We're working on Bryan's gut. We've got all kinds of psychology, even from Bryan. I'm going to turn around, turn over a new leaf. I'm going to give Daniel Bryan a little credit here. This was a very, very good match. Second rope superplex by Wade. Bryan tries a crucifix roll-up for a near fall, gets the running knee, gets the win. He gets attacked after the match with a bull hammer from Wade Barrett, and Ambrose attacks Wade Barrett in the entranceway, which flows quite nicely into the next match, because the next match is Ambrose versus Stardust. This is a theme for the rest of the night. People that get involved in X match are going to be on next in Y match, and it just makes the whole show flow, and they do it so well. They do it so well. Ambrose versus Stardust is next. Stardust comes out with the belt. Truth is still on commentary talking about his burlap sack that he's going to go pick potatoes with. Ambrose with a snapmare, Stardust with a leg scissor. Ambrose starts throwing punches and face first suplex by Stardust. Multiple double boots in the gut by Ambrose. Really nice spot because Stardust is hung up on the ropes, and Ambrose keeps rebounding off the far ropes and double booting him in the gut. It's a nice, like I say, a nice looking little spot. Ambrose clotheslines him out of the ring and right onto the commentator's desk. A leg whip by Stardust in the ropes on Ambrose as he tries to step back in the ring. Looks really nasty because it's kind of awkward the way he falls, and they do a very good job on commentary of reminding us that that's the same leg that Ambrose injured in his match, in his ambulance match with Bray Wyatt a while ago. So nice continuing storylines. It's good. I need a drink. We continue that story when we come back from commercial break with a half crab working Ambrose's leg, trading punches and chops. Clothesline and a bulldog by Ambrose. A rebound clothesline and Dirty Deeds gets the win for Ambrose. Two matches on the bounce that are building towards the Intercontinental Championship ladder match. And I shit you not, after this match, I saw a tweet by Guess Who saying, oh, what are these matches doing to build for the ladder match? Oh, nothing, that's right. Except they're all focused on the belt. The past 4 participants have been in the ladder match, as well as the guy that's been on commentary, as well as, you know, this trading off of the belt, etc., etc. And they say it's all silly. People that are naysaying this are saying it's very, very silly, you know, theft and this and that. And people have stolen other people's belts in wrestling for years. Suddenly it's a bad idea because it's not cool to like things anymore. That's fantastic. Ambrose takes the belt after the match. Barrett attacks him and he takes the belt. Bryan joins the fray. Harper Ziggler join the fray. And Truth puts the belt in his burlap sack. Meanwhile, and sneaks back on to commentary because that seems to be what he's doing. I don't know... honestly, whether R-Truth is like working off an injury, that's why he's been on commentary to keep him in this feud leading up to WrestleMania, and he's like rehabbing and hoping to be good on the day. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but anyways, he sneaks back to commentary. In the ring, Stardust hits a crossroads on Ambrose. Ziggler hits super kicks Stardust. Harper gets a clothesline on Ziggler. Bryan hits the running knee on Harper. Barrett hits the bullhammer on Bryan again. Truth gives Barrett the burlap sack and runs away. Barrett poses in the crowd with the burlap sack, pulls out a fake Intercontinental Championship, and even Michael Cole says, hey, that's one of the ones you can get from WWEshop.com. Meanwhile, R-Truth escapes with the real belt. It's fantastic. We get the announcement for the Hall of Fame, and I think this is a really cool thing because a lot of people wanted this to go a different way, but I like the way WWE has done it. WWE has introduced the Warrior Award. To go hand in hand with the Hall of Fame ceremony, and they are awarding the very first Warrior Award to Conor Mahalik, or the Conor's Cure kid that came to WrestleMania 30. Now, we've all seen the video package numerous amounts of times. We know the story. Very, very sad. Very, very cool thing for them to do, because people were saying that Conor should be inducted into the actual Hall of Fame, which rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and I can understand why. But we've got this award that's part of the Hall of Fame ceremony, and, you know, Warrior just passing away, you want to create this thing that's supposed to be in his memory right away, and what a better way to start off this new award than awarding it to this kid who, you know, let's be real, whether it's pandering, whether it's charity, whether it's whatever, this kid captured the hearts of the WWE universe, whether you want to admit it or not, and good for him, and good for his family, and good for the cause, and good for the cure, so to speak. Really, really nice, classy thing, and as I saw somebody say on Facebook, if you're against this, you really don't have a soul. Like, that's a thing. Heyman comes out to introduce a Roman Reigns video, which is odd, I suppose. So it's all about Roman Reigns from FCW to NXT, and they just go through all the different stages. FCW, NXT, The Shield, their debut on pay-per-view, their debut on Raw, the split of The Shield, the Roman Reigns Royal Rumble win, the Fastlane retention of that main event spot. They start talking about Roman Reigns' family, they talk about his detractors, they talk about WrestleMania, they talk about Lesnar. It's a nice, neat little thing. And Paul Heyman's in the ring watching this whole thing, and when it's all said and done, he says, Roman Reigns makes some interesting points, and here to counter all of them is my client, Brock Lesnar. And you think Brock Lesnar's actually going to cut a promo, and that's a scary thought, but whatever. He says, that's a nice little feel-good video, but it's all really propaganda and bullshit, and it wouldn't smell any better if it actually came out of a bull's ass. Which is fine. I've known his family since I was 14. When he was 9, his father took him to the bar, pointed out some tough football players, and said, either beat them or don't come home. His uncle took him to the track, took him to see the muscle heads at the gym, said, either beat them or don't come home. And now his entire family must be saying to him at WrestleMania, win the title, beat Brock Lesnar, or don't come home. He says the beating Brock will give Roman Reigns will make you earn respect for Roman Reigns, because Brock Lesnar is going to do all kinds of things that you don't expect, because Brock Lesnar is the WWE champion. Brock Lesnar owns the WWE championship. It belongs to Brock, and he's not giving it back. Hell, if he wants to, over the summer, he'll unify it with the UFC title. If he wants to go and fight Mayweather, he'll unify it with, he named some boxing title that I don't remember. He'll unify it with that title, and wouldn't that be great? Let's look back at Brock Lesnar's history. In 2002, they fed him to The Rock, this young new prospect that could make The Rock look great, and he gave The Rock such a bad beating that he beat him back to Hollywood. In 2014, they fed him to The Undertaker. They fed him to The Undertaker, and he beat The Undertaker, and he not only beat The Undertaker's streak, but he almost killed him, so that Wyatt has to resurrect him later tonight, which is a nice little touch. They fed him to Cena, and they suplexed him right out of the main event scene. I like that a lot. The answer to every question, the answer to every comment, the answer to every thought that anybody has about WrestleMania is Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar. My client, Brock Lesnar. Fucking fantastic. Wyatt is shown in the back. WrestleMania is almost here. The Reaper awaits you, dead man. Where are you? Tonight, find me. Kane and the Big Show versus Rowan and Ryback. They've got the Andre the Giant trophy at the side, showing that we are going to have the Andre the Giant Battle Royal at WrestleMania, which we already know, so it's kind of redundant. Boring big guy match that I didn't write any notes for, but in the process of that match, it's announced that hashtag Connor the Crusher is trending worldwide on Twitter, which is a nice little feel-good thing. Kane and Show hit each other, you know, heel miscommunication leading to them doing something to each other at some point, I guess, in the Battle Royal. The faces win. Stephanie comes out, and this is where things get interesting. You two fight like little children. We're 3 weeks from WrestleMania, no less. You represent the Authority, which means you represent me and my husband, and you represent the WWE, and you're not representing what's best for business. What happened to the Monster and the Giant? Get out of my ring and get out of my arena. So there you go. Two big members of the Authority are gone. We replay Miz's Niagara commercial, and the Miz and Mizdow stare down. We see the Miz in the back trying to strike up some sort of entertainment deal or partnership or whatever with Wiz Khalifa, who, as I've said before, looks like Deluxe Man plus or minus a little bit of heroin. And Wiz Khalifa introduced Damien Mizdow, who raps badly, with a bad wig on, and bad tattoos on, and bad everything on. And somewhere in the middle of all that mess announces that he's involved in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal as well. So it's like, cool. He got himself over with a gimmick being Miz's sidekick. As soon as he's separated from the Miz even a little bit, he's back to doing this corny shit. Thank the Miz, and thank Wiz Khalifa, or just turn him upside down, mop the floor. I don't really know. I think like R-Truth and Road Dogg Jesse James and Deluxe Man had a kid, and that's Wiz Khalifa. And Sheamus comeback video. I'm starting to care less and less. Wiz Khalifa performs. Yay! Comes out in a Cena shirt. And I said this on Twitter. Wiz Khalifa wearing a John Cena t-shirt doesn't help anybody. Anybody. I borderline feel bad for John Cena in this scenario. This is a thing. We see a replay of AJ's return, and it's announced. It's announced. One of my favorite matches for WrestleMania as of now. AJ and Paige versus the Bellas. The Total Divas versus the Anti-Divas at WrestleMania. Oh yes. Give me all your arguments about how this buries the Divas title. I really don't care. I'm looking forward to this match anyway. AJ versus Summer with a bunch of people at ringside. The Bellas are in the back dressed like Wilma and Betty from the Flintstones because they're plugging the WWE Flintstones video that I'd just rather not talk about. But AJ versus Summer, we got all kinds of people at ringside. Paige is in AJ's corner, and Eva Marie and Cameron, because they're useless, are outside of Summer's corner. We start the match. Body scissor and a near fall by AJ. Tilt-a-whirl head scissor by AJ. Facebuster by Summer. Cobra clutch by Summer, which leads to a near fall somehow. Corner choke by Summer. Thez press and punches by AJ. Neckbreaker by AJ. DDT by AJ. Spin kick by Summer. Black Widow. Summer taps, and AJ gets the win. Nice little match. Did what it was supposed to do. Shows the alliance, I can speak, I swear, between Paige and AJ. They're all out there. They're all helping each other out. It's all good. The Bellas are in the back, underestimating them, which will make their victory so much better. We get a weird, overdubbed, voiced-over Sting promo that basically says, I'm not here just to fuck with Triple H. I'm here because I've seen what corrupt authority can do. He mentions Hogan and Bischoff and the NWO and yada yada yada. And he says, I can't believe Sting actually signed on for this. I failed to save WCW, but I won't fail again. Fan-fucking-tastic. Rusev is going off for his match, which I was very much looking forward to. Runs into Cena in the hallway. Cena tells him off. He says, you know what? Even if I don't get a match at WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is something you should earn, it's not something that should be handed to you, I will still kick the living shit out of you if you don't stop talking shit about America. Fine and wonderful. Little thing, not very much corny, typical John Cena stuff. A little bit of Americana, but they're in America, so that's kind of allowed, I suppose. Rusev versus Axelmania. It's announced that that friggin' Curtis Axel has been in the Rumble for 42 days now. JBL proceeds to say that if this match goes 42 days, it's in Axel's favor because he's an idiot. The match goes less than 1 minute. Super kick and accolade, and Curtis Axel is disposed of in no short order. Talk some more shit about America. Cena comes out, and this is where it's kind of cool. No fanfare. No music. Tosses his shirt away. He goes to do the typical thing with the face cloth, the hustle, and he just fucking tosses it to the side. Nice little touch, which I'm sure everybody else is going to downplay. Walks in, struggles with Rusev a little bit, locks on the STF, and he's kind of got that like sort of dead face. You know, Cena's not very good at doing angry face, but you know, he's trying, I'll give him that much. Puts him in the STF and wrenches it until it's not even a properly recognizable STF anymore. It's just, I'm going to hold you whatever way is going to hurt the most. To the point where Lana's screaming on the outside, begging him to stop. Rusev passes out. Cena standing over Rusev, all dominant and shit. And he's like, okay, so Cena got a one-up on Rusev. But no. And see, this is where I think it's really, really cool. He grabs a water bottle from the announce desk, dumps it on Rusev, wakes Rusev up so that he can put him back in the STF and make him pass out again. Lana begging on the outside, she will give him a match. She will give him a match at WrestleMania. She will give him the match at WrestleMania for the US title. And that's all it takes. Friggin' Cena takes his victory and sort of goes away. After Raw, they did a thing on the WWE Network that I did watch. Byron Saxton interviewing John Cena about his match coming up at WrestleMania, and it is a pretty typical John Cena promo. I won't lie. So I'm not really going to talk about it because, you know, cut and paste, fill in John Cena rhetoric here. But no, this was good. This was a little on the edgy side. This was a little, you know, a lot of people. This is what I don't get. A lot of people are shitting on this because it's not a good message for the kids. These are the same people that are bitching and moaning for years and years and years that Cena's got such an unbelievable good guy character that he needs to turn heel, that he's so disgustingly so disgustingly babyface that nobody believes him anymore. He's a shell of a person. He's a cartoon character. But as soon as he tries some edge, as soon as he tries something that's a little shady, you know, people jump down his throat. So you know what? You people on Twitter and Facebook and in the YWC in general, once again, I have to almost resent you because you guys have gone so far the other way and are so out there that I actually have to defend John Cena here. You think I want to do that? But it's true. You know, if you say that somebody's a 2 out of 10, if somebody's a 2 out of 10 and you say they're a 0 out of 10, I'm still going to say you're being too hard on them. Does 2 out of 10 still suck? Absolutely. But it's not 0. So I have to do this because you guys ridiculously overstate the case. You overstate the case and it flushes the whole case out the window. This is just a thing. Wyatt is seen in the back once again. I will walk through the fires of hell to see you again, dead man. Find me tonight. Kid and Cesaro versus The New Day, which in this case is Woods and Big E. Michael Cole, at the beginning of this match, calls Xavier Woods Kofi Kingston quite a few times, which I'm sure people in the social media world will turn into some sort of racist bullshit, whatever. Woods and Kid start. Head scissor by Woods, double team splash by The New Day. 3 backbreakers and a snake eyes by Big E on Tyson Kidd. Cesaro chops out Woods' knee and then hits him with an uppercut. Mudhole stomping by Cesaro. Mudhole stomping specifically to the knee. Fantastic. Kid puts a leg lace standing leg lace type submission move on Woods' leg, working the leg. Cesaro tags in with a half crab on Woods' leg. Everything's fantastic. Kid kicks Big E off the apron. Woods takes that opportunity because basically Kid distracted himself by going after the guy on the outside rather than the guy in the ring. Woods hits what I can only call a wheelbarrow roll-through facebuster, because it looks like it's going to be a wheelbarrow face-first slam, but he kind of rolls through it before he does it. It's a really, really cool-looking move. I wish we were back in the days where announcers actually called moves and called the names of moves. That would be great. But really wicked move on the champions. 3, 2, 1, go. Really nice win on the champions by the New Day. I don't know why this doesn't cheer people up. I mean, Big E and Xavier Woods are both from NXT, and people from NXT can do no wrong, last time I heard. All sarcasm aside, I like the New Day. 3 talented guys who aren't trying to be in the main event when they shouldn't be. Their victory is interrupted by Usos and Naomi. And we're all like, what the fuck? And then the commentator's like, well, that totally makes sense because Naomi and Naomi and Natalya are fighting next. So we have Natty versus Naomi with the champions and the Usos on the outside. And this is a shit match. This is awkward, bumbling from start to finish. Naomi counters the sharpshooter, and the way she kicks out of it, Natalya smacks the back of her head on the bottom turnbuckle. I don't know if that was intentional or whether it was a botch with this match. It's really hard to tell the difference. But she shakes it off, gets up, and ends with the rear view. Yes. Natalya Neidhart, who we've heard 100 billion times, is the only female to successfully survive the Hart family submission wrestling dungeon, wins with a loses rather to a big ghetto booty in the face. For reasons. Tyson and Cesaro and the Usos were bickering on the outside the whole time. Natalya, for reasons, takes Tyson's championship belt and walks out of the arena with it. As they're walking out, the Matadors come down. And it's like, okay, everybody come out for this segment at once. Matadors versus the Usos, which I don't have much to say. It was a typical fun, flippy face team versus face team, whatever. I have to laugh at the Usos because of distraction by El Torito, and a Matador rolls up an Uso for the win. Wyatt and Taker. Wyatt comes out, and you guys know I've been for the most part I've been writing down Wyatt's promos, and I've been trying to deliver them to you as best I can, which I know is pretty shit. You don't have to tell me, but he basically calls out the Undertaker, calls out the Undertaker, calls out the Undertaker. At one point he says, while he's holding the urn, it's like, so all of your power and all of your essence and all of your this and that and the next thing is in this jar. Which is fantastic. Opens up the lid, looks like he sees something really, really scary, and then laughs at all of us for being drawn into it as we are. Eventually the gong hits. Eventually everything goes dark. Eventually all the monitors, all the LED ribbons around the arena, all the LED screens go out. You don't even have as many fireflies in the arena, but there's darkness for a long period of time, and then you see a spotlight. And what's the spotlight on? The spotlight is on Bray Wyatt's chair, which is fantastic. Symbolism. This is where the creative guys at WWE, once a year, for whatever The Undertaker's doing, really come into their own. Wyatt looks a combination of scared and hysterical while he stares at the chair, and the chair gets struck by lightning and catches fire, which is incredibly fucking old school Taker, and I love it. And then you see on the screen, the WrestleMania logo, and it says, at WrestleMania, the man will come around, which I'm assuming means that Undertaker at WrestleMania is going to come out to Johnny Cash's When the Man Comes Around, which will make for a very interesting intro. It'll be interesting as a whole to see what incarnation The Undertaker takes after being defeated, after not carrying the streak on his back anymore. That's something we can discuss at a later date. But, yeah, just Bray Wyatt staring at his own flaming rocking chair, just going hysterical in the ring. And this is where everybody that's looking for something to bitch about will say, well, Undertaker's not there. Because you heard a voiceover over the announce system as well. I didn't mention this. At WrestleMania, you will rest in peace. Which is, if you go back to old school Undertaker, rest in peace was realistically all he ever said. And then Paul Bearer, rest in peace and all that sort of thing, was doing the rest of the promo work. It's going back to a very old school feel. Oh, you could say, the rocking chair is cheesy and the urn is cheesy. But, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever, you wouldn't have been saying that. This is the Undertaker as a whole, really, is something you really gotta just decide to love. Or you're just not going to. It's all story. It's all creative, artistic type stuff that goes into the Undertaker's matches. I mean, it's not like he's going to come onto Raw and have a warm-up match, is it? Like, let's be real about this. But Wyatt versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania, even though Undertaker, has the dreaded part-timer logo on him and all that shit, this is going to be something special. It's going to be marquee. It's going to be story. It's going to be character. It's going to be feeling. Is the in-ring match going to be 5 stars? No, probably not. But you know what? At the end of the day, sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes it just doesn't matter. And if you don't know that, then what kind of wrestling fan are you? And I hate to sound like a Preston fucking asshole when I say that, but you gotta parse out. Like, you don't watch a Mick Foley match from ECW expecting Angle versus Benoit. Don't watch Wyatt versus Undertaker and expect Bryan versus Punk. That's not what it is, and that's not what it's supposed to be. And that's all I got. I don't know, for anybody else that's trying to pick this out apart just because it's not cool to like things this year, all you're doing is keeping yourself from having fun. I really don't even know what to tell you. And in the main event, in the very, very predictable main event, and everybody's going to complain once again that it was predictable, but you know what? I don't care. I just don't care. This story played out perfectly. Roman Reigns versus Orton and Rollins. Rollins and Roman fight. This is basically Rollins versus Roman, and Orton's watching. J&J Security yelling at him on the outside. Why doesn't he interfere more? You know, you're supposed to be on the heel team. You're supposed to do heelish stuff. He knocks out, I don't even remember which one it is. He knocks out one. The other one helps him up. The other one helps that one up. Rollins tells them, hey, you can go to the back. We've got this. Da-da-da-da-da. He's looking for a tag when Roman Reigns gets the upper hand, and Orton short arms him. And here's the thing. Orton short arms him and gives him the double bird. The fantastic thing about that is you can tell how awkward the cameramen are being, trying to keep the middle fingers out of the frame. So he's doing this. He's got his arms up like this for several seconds, and it's literally the way it looks on my screen right now. You know what he's doing. The crowd knows what he's doing. The crowd, a lot of people in the crowd were doing it back to him. Very, very Austin style. No, I'm not comparing Orton to Austin before everybody has a fucking stroke. But no, it was very, very cool. And, you know, Rollins, what the fuck, spear! Roman gets the win. And Orton proceeds to own the fuck out of Rollins for a long, long time. In the ring. Out of the ring, the steps, the friggin' rails, the into the crowd, the brawling, the very, very through the rails, through the, doing the dollar tour around the arena, we could say. Comes back, hits the suspension DDT off the guardrail to the ground, and then makes the crowd wait for it. Holds Rollins up by one hand, under his chin, limp, not moving at all, holds him there, waits for the crowd, the crowd noise to really, really elevate, drops him through the table. And it's fucking brilliant. And, oh yeah, the whole time he's berating him. The whole time he's telling him what a fucking moron he is. Did you really think I would join the Authority? Did you really think that I would forget what you did to me? Did you really think you would get off that easy? And it's fucking wonderful. And it's fucking wonderful. And I know, as I've said through this entire video, and I know I'm probably coming off sarcastic as fuck right now, and I really don't care, you're not supposed to say something's wonderful. You're not supposed to say something's being built well. You're not supposed to say you're enjoying the product, because if you're enjoying it, that means you don't rant. And as some people will tell you, and as some people will advise you, positive videos don't get views. Well, I'd rather get 0 views for telling the truth and enjoying myself than get 1,000 views for lying to you guys and being a negative asshole for no reason. This was a good Raw. Mania's gonna be awesome. I don't care what anybody else says. You're not going to ruin WrestleMania for me. And that probably bothers you on some level. Yeah, you. You and you and you. You and you. And especially you. I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there. Talk down there. Start a conversation. Keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, I'm tagging out. Bye, guys.